So we got Max Enix, singer-songwriter, producer, composer, and wearer of many hats, etc., etc. Welcome, man. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Jake, for this interview.
How's it going in France, where you are now?
Yeah, actually, I'm in France, around Strasbourg, the European capital, Strasbourg. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And I've noticed with your album you have out now, Far From Home, it's gotten a lot of press from around the world, and I appreciate you reaching out to me. And not only for a review, but for an interview. I know the execution of that is a little bit delayed, but I'm glad we can still do it regardless.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very happy to see you and to share with you these informations. Very well appreciated.
Yeah, of course, man. Like, I'm just like, it's good to see you here and that we're finally able to talk. And your background, I notice, is extremely interesting. You're a self-taught musician, is that right?
Yeah, I'm self-taught like composer Hans Zimmer or Danny Elfman or this kind of composer. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can, go back into a little bit of your formative upbringing. When you were a little kid, how did that musicianship initially develop?
Yeah, my background is quite atypical. I have worked first music at school with some vocals, some instrumental, and progressively I have sing in a show around 14 years old, and progressively sing a lot some cover of my favorite bands or artists. And after that, I have begun to play some guitars, electric guitars, and keyboards around between 16 years old and 19 years old. And I have composed from now around 500 improvisations and compositions, epic or not, diverse genre, more in a filmic way. I have sing two in some bands, one band with some cover songs, rockabilly, and even another band more in the progressive black metal. I have made some growls too on it. And finally, after all that, I it's think it will be the good time to work in my personal project, and I have released an album called Secret Garden under the Constellia name with another composer, co-composition. And after that, I prefer to be more free in my project and in my creativity, and I want to make a very ambitious project, and it's why I have composed and write the script for Far From Home. And so here it is now with this double album.
It is. It's here and it's amazing. It's been out a month, and like I said, like the reception is like I'd imagine it's mostly positive. Now, does it surprise you like a little bit at least, or were you like, of course I have this positive reception. I worked hard for this.
Thank you for your review,
Yeah.
very good review. And yeah, fun. This is the good time now 37 years old to work to release this double album.
Yeah. The concept, from what I can gather from this album, is it's a very like down to earth, very relatable. It because it focuses on kind of when everything, what I gathered from your album, it's like it's a matter of like from like a personal perspective, when everything is lost, when everything has like gone to shit, you learn to rebuild, and you
Yeah,
learn to slowly like gather, pick your pieces back together, like accumulate friends, and realize that you're not alone on your journey.
yeah. It's hope for the future generations. And I think actually the world need more positive messages of hope, because with the wars, with the injustices, the horror that we see in our world, I think it's the good moment to share hope. And this double concept album begin in the prehistoric age, and
Mm-hmm.
progressively the nature after the end of the dinosaurs, progressively the nature restore again, and then we arrive in our area, in our era, um, with the corruption, with the conditioning, with the all the wrong way that some politicians goes, and some people share. We are in very fake world, and
Yeah, I think so too.
we don't know who is people of trust, or who are people who are evil side and others. It's very, very difficult to find people of trust actually in this society. And I think the concept is, we think that it's the end of the humanity, but finally, in the end, there's a miracle and some hope for the next generations, because I think it's important for the next generations to share love and not hatred, and wrong things, like we can see in some music and some areas. But it's important to try to find an equilibrium in this society that goes upside down actually.
Yeah, I agree, man. And it's cool you bring that up, because you put hope in your music, and you emphasize that you believe in its efficacy. And I think that that's been lost, especially nowadays. People um, assume that hoping, especially in conjunction with waiting for something to happen, is like a weak emotion, not only to express, but to experience. And like, I disagree with what a lot of people are saying, because when you're waiting for something, you're not sitting around doing nothing. You're still working your ass off, but you just have this hope that things turn out all right, because there are times, and it's happened to me in my 32 years, and of course you in your 37 years, where everything just completely goes to shit. And like, what do you do now?
Yeah, you are true. I think lots of people are in this society and wait that things change, but they don't do
Yeah, they
things
don't take action, right?
change. Yeah, and they wait the decisions of the politicians, but
Oh God,
it's not
gotta love that.
it's not the politicians will change lots of things because politicians want to find the better solutions, to have more money in their pockets, and try to find more solutions for the others to work and work and work and work. And if it's the do or die society, you work, okay, you don't work, or you are in a specific condition, they put you aside, and it's not a good society. It's lots of inequalities, and I think actually we have to find another solutions, another perspective to change the world and for the future generations, than the politicians who try to control everything. But it's very very difficult to fight against these institutions and this big company and others, because they are in position of power, and they use their power to defeat the others. And some people who have others perspective, they don't like people who have others perspective and who try to change the society differently.
Right.
And we have to fight like that.
Yeah, and it's cool because um, one component of the album that really resonated with me is all of your guest spots that you have on the album are kind of like friends supporting you in your journey. You have like interplay between the vocalists, like kind of a call and response thing, or sometimes the soloist who would do the guitar solo, they would help support aspects of the instrumentation to kind of bring it out or kind of introduce something new. And I thought that worked really well in that way. And I was wondering, in terms of accumulating those guest spots for the album, was this album just like a culmination of the relationships that you've built up to this point?
Yeah, yeah, there's a strong connection with the musicians and the guests. The um, the Xavier Baucher, French guitarist,
Yeah.
virtual French guitarist, have made a fantastic work on this double album. And he worked very very fast, and it's very easy for him to make solo guitar parts. He have already released lots of instrumental albums, and it's very very good guitar player. And you have Leo Marguerite from Pain Oscillation, progressive band, on drums, who have made a fantastic work too. um, Jean-Jacques Mauriac on the bass, one of the best bassists actually, who is in a band called Misanthrope. And you have Vikram Shankar on piano keyboards, fantastic in terms of emotion, in terms of lots of things. And the vocal singer, the woman vocal singer, is Elise Varbar.
Yeah, she's awesome, man. I like
Yeah,
how your voices like complement each other.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, very, very good singer, Elise Varbar, and she's a professional singer, and she go in some bar to perform, and in France and others. And she worked actually on a solo album or solo EP, the first solo EP that will come end of the year or next year to see. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And it's great that you support that you're in really close support of the people you work with. You know, sometimes you hire them for this part or that part, and it's like, okay, see you later. But it works too to keep up with their journeys.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's the same for the guest. The guest, we have very, very good contact between us, and all they have all made a fantastic work. And some musicians, some singer on it, I have strong connections with them, and other are more just here to do their job. It's depends on the person, depend on the people. Some are before all in the passion of the music, and others are more in the interest and make that just for money. It's depends on the people.
Do you, when there are situations where a connection doesn't go down, you know, very well as much as you would hope. Um, do you? I mean, of course, there must be some disappointment there, but do you like keep your drive going? Like, okay, if that didn't pan out, it's not the end of the world. I can just keep going.
Yeah, sometimes I think there's a solutions for all, even if there's some guest or some musician that not on the same vibes or are not in the way we want. I think we have to find solutions to work, and in the end, in general, there's lots of possibilities.
I'd imagine like a lot of planning went into this project, not just for this album. I imagine that it's not just this album that's going to make this big of an impression. There's a whole plan. There's a whole world to explore. And I mean, did you have to make some compromises or some like changes where you didn't otherwise expect them to happen, or did it were there like some bumps in the road during the process that you can talk about?
Yeah, the process is natural in general. I have composed at first with piano, keyboards,
Yeah, and
the
I see you're on Facebook. You're really like, I gotta get this idea down, so it's
yeah,
cool
yeah, yeah, yeah.
how your mind works.
I love to imagine and made all that by my side.
So that
And
was a big factor in at least laying the groundwork for this album, right?
yeah, and after the piano keyboard parts and some indications and others, it's Thomas Kubler, a very good orchestrator, who have made the orchestrations, excellent orchestrator. And all the musicians have create their parts, their instrumental parts, um, with the indications I have give to them, or not, because some have composed some exclusive parts, of course.
Okay.
Uh, Vikram Shankar have create others piano parts in addition, according to the music. And after all that, the I have created all the vocals parts for the guests and for me, and some um, we have to adapt sometimes in studio to, because with some orchestrations and some instrument parts, there's lots of stuff, lots of elements that all will be the best possible to assemble. And after that, in the end, it's the Budapest Symphony Orchestra who is come to the wall. But we don't have really a problem during the process. Finally, all was very natural, and sometimes we just have to change some ideas and some things, but in the whole process there's hopefully no real problem or disappointments.
Is it a, like more a sigh of relief that this is completed, or is it like, holy shit, I have to follow this up eventually?
Yeah, yeah. um yes, it depends, it depends. But in general, all will was cool and friendly, so it's cool.
That's good. As long as it was a good working as well as a friendship kind of relationship, that's also good. And I know that, and you teased this before, but what you have in the works is like, I don't know if it's like a successor or like a more enhanced version where you do have the Budapest Symphony Orchestra with like extra effects peppered in. Now, is that just building off of the connections that you already have, or someone was like, "Hey, I know the Budapest Symphony Orchestra. Why don't you go talk to them?" Or because that never happens like on a daily basis.
Yeah, yeah.
You
um
just have to know the right people, right?
yeah, of course, of course. It's hard work to found the good people, the good one for the project. Sorry, if I don't understand some words sometimes, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I answer sometimes not correctly, but yeah, aside the original version, you can listen the original version of Far From Home, 2 hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
There's another version, exclusively orchestral with exclusive sounds effects, will come October 27th this year, with a complete and different approach of the music, with the Budapest Symphony Orchestra more in um, that you can hear more the Budapest Symphony Orchestra on this version. And a specific bundle will come end of the year before the Christmas, with the two version bundle with the original and orchestral version. Other video clips will come too, and lots of things are already planned.
The cover art also is like amazing. It really brings the qualities of the music to life. And I noticed on your Bandcamp, you have images for, I think, I don't know if it's for every song, but it's for each of the songs that I've seen. It has its own individual concept art from that world, and like you can see, like the contrasts too. Like there's the more natural part, like on the right side, like greenery, and then the the dividing end, and then on the left side is like the futuristic kind of city. It's cool to see those contrasts. And I was wondering, like, who did you talk with about the like doing this artwork?
Yeah, the artworks are made by Thomas Everard. Thomas Everard, who have worked with artists like James Labrie, Neil Morse, and others, very good graphic designers. And first, I have write the script and imagine for each songs an illustration. So I have give to him my sketches with the disposition of all the elements. I want birds here, want meteor here, want buildings here, or the forest, the sea and others, with a message behind each illustrations. A message of like City of Motels, for example, or you have two people who deal together with in some streets, and some people aside who are in distress, and the money that fly in the air. So like the societies, they put aside the politicians, and some people, they put aside the people who are not like them, who don't want to be in the society like they want, for example. Or you have the deforestation with Tears of Earth, for example, with vegetation and the animals in distress because of the human interaction. The Far From Home cover is the equilibrium between the city and the nature, and the meteor is here to symbolize that one moment in the future, the humans will become the new dinosaurs finally. Yeah,
Shit
yeah,
goes down.
yeah. Not with the T-Rex, but with some meteor, or maybe an atomic bomb will fall on them because of the wars, because of the cost of life was more expensive each days, and at the end, it's not possible to continue in this society like this. The politicians and others have to go together, and made a word deal to change things. They have money machine
Yeah, they just keep
they can
keep accessing and accessing over
yeah,
and over.
yeah, they have money machine. They can bring some money here and here. So a worldwide deal. We go we begin a new society, and help the people who are in distress, help the people who suffer, help the people who die because they have no water in the world, and others. But they don't want that, because they all want power. They want strength, abuse of power, and it's why we have lots of wars again and again and again. And the meteor is here to say stop now.
Yeah, everybody,
Now you
even
see the
even
meteor.
if yeah, even if it's shitty though, like um, and yeah, and that's a big theme of the album. Even in those times, we come together, we celebrate like victories, like they don't even have to be large, they can be like small, step by step. And I think that's also what ultimately becomes of this whole album in general, is you have the final track, the title track, and that's what kind of puts the album in summation.
Yeah,
It kind of like tells you the story in like a shorter form. If you want to get like this like condensed version, you can listen to Far From Home. But if you want to get the full context of the album, you can listen to each individual track that builds up to it. And I
yeah, of
think it's
course.
amazing that each piece of your album stands out on its own.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for your words. Yeah, I think the Far From Home double album is a wall. You have to listen it from the beginning to the end. But each songs have a specific special theme, and tell a story, a story finally. Prayer of the Gods is against the fanaticism, because sometimes we have all or not a heart religion, but I think now it's not the moment to think about the religion. We have to think about spirituality. We have to think about more open word,
Yeah,
open.
like more like what's inside of us.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And if they continue like that with religion wars and others, I think it will be the end in the in
It'll
the
it'll expedite the
very soon. Huh? Very
process.
soon.
Ultimately, in processing this album, noticing the work you've done, um, realizing and recognizing that everyone has taken in like the beauty of your work because it truly is a work of art. Um, how would you say your skills and your talents as a musician have grown?
I think I have, by listening lots of artists, love of fantastic bands, and the hard work pay in the end. I have made lots and lots and lots of improvisations, of compositions, of interpretation, like Stephen King Shining book, for example. And I have listened and listened and listened some very, very different bands and artists in different genres. And I think all these colors have made now what I am and what is my music, and the colors on it.
And you're still creating now. Now, like, you're creating more of those bits and pieces still. Like, even when I saw, back to when I saw that Facebook video of where you were just like, I have to get this idea down. Eventually, we'll see another Far From Home, probably. We'll
Yeah,
probably see something equally as ambitious, or it could just be your own thing.
yeah. Lots of possibilities. Another Far From Home is not possible, I think. I think because it's lots of work, and you don't see the end when you you begin work that way. But um, it will be cool to make a Far From Home movie with the script, but in more expanded.
Yeah,
Uh, and I think it's will be cool to made a movie, and maybe have the some orchestral versions on it
yeah,
to readapt and play some roles. It will be fantastic. But for now, um, some shows are coming, some festivals, and I think
yeah. I
one of
noticed.
the next year,
Oh, next year.
live DVD will come,
Yeah,
and I have lots of ideas for a concept for in 2 or 3 years. Very, very different concepts, and I think it will be never heard before. But for the moment, it's a surprise. It's a secret.
it's awesome. I mean, I've noticed that you have signed the contracts. You have all the written agreements in order for doing live shows. I mean, are you excited for that?
I'm very, very exciting, but
Especially
it's
for this album, right? This
yeah,
got to be like broadcast to like a whole like audience. They need to hear this.
yeah, of course, I'm very, very happy for that. It's a lot of stress too because we have
Of course.
to coordinate all, but the results. I'm a perfectionist and I want the best for the albums, for the shows and others with strong energy, with beautiful visuals for some venues, lights and sound, and we will all do our best to make the most powerful shows possible. But yeah, some festivals are already signed now, some big festivals, and next year, um, lots of announcements will be made, and eventually, in the some information end of this year already.
That's awesome, man. It's great that you have all of this planned out, and it's a great way to sustain that momentum for your artistic endeavors.
Yeah, thank you. I think I'm. It's a hard work, but you have to be lucky to come in this festival and in these shows and on some positions, because the music world is a jingle, is the music business is a word, is a jingle, and lots of people try to block you to it's you have to be very strong, and for the future generations, if they want to work in some music way, I think they have to be very strong, because the some people are not good.
No.
People are fucking assholes,
Yeah,
and
I know.
are not very, very kind, because in this society, when you are too kind with others, they try to abuse you
Yeah.
and to
And
and to
you've experienced the end of that like far too many times. Like you'd be taken advantage of, and like it sucks, man. It just sucks.
yeah, 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 of course, of course.
It's like
And
when it, but like you said, you just keep going on, and
yeah,
considering your career up to this point with the bands that you join, with the album, the shows that you have in preparation. What have you learned about yourself, not only as a musician but as a person?
yeah, I think we have to all find an equilibrium with the experiences of life we have. So lots of things happened in my life, and to find the self control with all these dangerous situations around. Um, it's lots of spirituality and love to each others, because I think that when some people are selfish or egoist or others, they lost lots of interaction with some humans, with some others, and I think that the first thing to for the equilibrium is to open to others, to give your hands to others, to be kind to others. um it's the key. I think it's the key. And after that, if you found strong spiritual connection vibes, or in an equilibrium between having your foot on the ground and your head on the stars, I think it's a good way. But for that, you have to be patient and do lots of mistakes, lots of errors in your life, and after that, you put on the table and you think, and you tell that no, I don't make that again. I I go forward and found a peace in your heart.